Good morning. We are another day and another beautiful day as far as these beautiful days go. It's still a little dark out. Of course, this time change is not one of my favorite times of the year as far as sun coming up, sun going down. But even as I'm saying this brings me to the topic in which I would like to talk to you about today, and it's you are what you think. And as easy as it was for me to take and say, this is another beautiful day, but it's still not my favorite because I like the sun to come up early and I like the sun to go down later. So, words are choices in what we say. They become so powerful in our day to day that most times we don't give enough credit to the power in which we speak or think. You are what you think. How often do we say things without really thinking? How often do we say negative words that really are counterintuitive to our own best interest? How often? How often do we create words, negative words, and they just become our words, our verbiage? And they become almost, no, they do become a negative affirmation. Whoa. And it's time to think about what it is you say. If what you truly want is a change, you are what you think. You are what you say. The two are one. They come out different, but they work together in the same way. Start, for me, how I start my day when I wake up in the, my sleeping patterns have changed, but every time I wake up, I'm grateful. I give thanks to God, the universe, for giving me another chance. I don't do it once. I do it every time I wake up. And during the day, while I'm walking, talking to people, in between, I will give thanks. I find having a heart filled with gratitude, a thankful heart, it changes a lot of the things in which I think and say. If you stop and just think about that, when you are giving thanks, when you are grateful, when you start thinking a negative thought, it becomes it stands out in your head like, that doesn't fit my way of thinking. And through habits, through things changing, this is where it begins in what you change, how you see yourself, what you think, what you say. It's just relearning and becoming aware of what it is you say, what it is you think. It's stepping outside of ourselves. You want change in your life, this is where you start. Because it's not going to come from outside of you. Everything is going to start and begin within you. And that all starts with, how do you see yourself? What are you saying about yourself? I know I've read a couple things about thinking positive. I've done this most of my life. And I see the power of it, the power of your thoughts. We are the directors of our movies. This is our movie, this is our life. So we direct by our thoughts. You don't like it, change the script. This is the things that I say a lot. And these are the things that I've learned all the way through life. And yet I've looked back at my life and I've seen where, boom, I've taken off, then I've fallen back. Taken off and then fallen back. And it's all because of the way I think. And I've slipped. And so it's creating habits that are strong habits. I'm now at a stage in life where I've learned a lot, and I'm continuing to learn more. This is the thing about life. We're a forever student. And a true teacher will always be a true student. You are what you think. So let's start by thinking highly of ourselves. Because if you can't see yourself as a beautiful person, as a beautiful soul, as a wonderful person to be around, as however it is you want to see yourself, how do you expect anybody to see you differently than how you see your own self? If you want love, how do you expect love to come to you if you don't love yourself? If you want peace around you and yet you're creating drama all around you and maybe you don't even see that you're creating drama, how do you expect drama not to be drawn to you? We have got to start changing the way we think. And it begins with you. It begins with you. Everything that you're looking for begins with you. You're not happy with your finances. It begins with you. What do you see? What are you doing? What are you projecting out? Are you projecting lack? Are you projecting you're not worthy enough? Think about what it is you're thinking. See, you could sit there and write down on your mirror and go to it every day. I look beautiful. I'm wonderful. And then go outside the door and all of a sudden you notice your hair is flown up and this, oh my gosh, now I'm a mess. This what I have on doesn't fit well, and it's showing off body parts in a way that are not flattering to me. And then you can start changing everything by looking at yourself in a negative way. Even though just a few minutes ago you just said, you said some of your affirmations by saying, you know, you look beautiful. And then you walk out the door and all of a sudden things start changing. So you basically counter everything that you just did. And so it's just creating habits. So your hair flies up. Okay. Be in the moment. This is where I am right now. And I guarantee you, your energy, if you have that sense of confidence that, oh, well, this is what it is. I'm still beautiful. That's the energy that's going to be coming out of you. And that's how you're going to be seen. Is that because most times people are looking not at you in the physical, they're looking at you in the energy. Most, not all, but most people. I am becoming much more sensitive to that. I seen something the other day that said, if I'm not connected, if I don't fall in love with your soul, I won't fall in love with your things. I like that. Because now I'm seeking energy from the soul. And it stands out. But you are what you think. This is a big topic because I think most people, myself included, deal with what it is on your mind. You're not in a good relationship. What are the thoughts going through your mind? You're thinking about, well, if I did this, if they did this, if, you know, and, well, they walked away and now my life is turned upside down. And you create a tone of anxiety, of worry, of doubt, of lack, abandonment. And so it is. That's what is. Now, the hardest thing to do is to reverse all those things and say, okay, well, maybe this was intended that they walk away at this time. Maybe it was intended that this was the time in which they needed to heal. Maybe this was the time in which I needed to heal. Maybe the time apart is what we need to be right now. And let that go. And then go into you. Start focusing in on what it is that you need to do for you, to fix you, to heal you. And start with what it is you are thinking. And watch how everything changes. You start losing the anxieties, the worries, the abandonment. You start losing these. They're not first and foremost in your mind. What it is you think. You are. So It's just creating habits. Everything we do basically has been from creating habits, whether they're good habits or bad habits, whether the bad eating habits or good eating habits, drinking habits, smoking habits, what we say to people, how we respond to people. They're just habits that we create. So think about it. If it's not a habit that's serving you well, maybe it's time to change. Maybe it is. Because in the end, when you step back and look at everything, you have to admit you are what you think. So where is it you are right now? Did you get there with happy thoughts? Are you getting there with positive thoughts? Or are your thoughts mostly filled with anxiety, filled with worry, filled with doubt? Because this is what you're creating. This is what's happening in your world right now, if those are the thoughts in which you stay. It's time now to change. You are what you think. So let's just start thinking about this. Take a moment. Now, I'm about to come to a close, but I'm just trying to plant a seed. Now, it's up to you if whether or not you want to water this seed. A seed will only grow into a flower or a fruit, a vegetable, if it's watered. So that means you have to do something. It's the way it is. So here's the seed. This is the message in this little video. You choose to come back to it or not. If you come back to it, you run into things, come back to it. Revisit it. It's right here on YouTube, the channel. Nick Gallardo, Power of Love Heals. Subscribe, like, if you have an interest. If there's something here that resonates, you are what you think. Think about that. Be well, be love, always. Until next time.